Hello everyone. We are going to be making my pumpkin protein muffins today. I make protein muffins every week, and I either make pumpkin or banana, and I don't think you can see back here, but my bananas, they're still very yellow. I like them to be more on the overly ripe side before I use them for muffins, because then they're sweeter. So we are going to do pumpkin today. So I just have an organic can of pumpkin. You're going to use the small one. You don't want like the pumpkin pie mix or anything like that. You literally just want pumpkin. Okay, so actually I'm opening this can, but the very first thing we want to do is we want to make our flax egg, which is going to be hot water and flax meal. That's going to create an egg consistency. So I have kind of figured out the grams on these. I will share them with you. I'm using our new digital scale. And so you're just going to set your piece on. Then there's a tar button, I don't know how you say it, T-A-R-E, and it takes it back to 0. So then we just need 13 grams of flax, and you can measure this, or this is also a really easy way, and then you don't have to mess with it. Okay, so there's 13 grams, and then we are going to add 2.21 ounces of water. And I already had, this is just my tea kettle, boil water however you want. I had already boiled the water. So we're gonna change the unit. So it does grams, ounces, and it does pounds. So we're gonna change it to ounces. We're gonna hit the back to 0 button, and then just kind of pour a little bit at a time. And again, I figured out first time I did it, 2.21 ounces. So there we go. And then we are just going to, I kind of just stir this with a fork and then let it sit for like 4 to 5 minutes. We'll get a lot of the other ingredients ready for our recipe while that coagulates, makes an egg consistency. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, we are gonna go back to grams, and we are going to put our classic batter bowl on here. We're gonna add our pumpkin, which I was working on earlier. So all the way around with your can opener, backwards once to release, and then lid open. And we're just gonna scrape this all in here, and we are going to put our pumpkin muffins together. I add the Pampered Chef pea protein, and I add a vanilla protein as part of my flour. So that's kind of where I get the extra protein from in the muffins. Okay. All right. So we've got our pumpkin in, and I just do a full can of pumpkin. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna get our vegan butter ready, our brown sugar, and our almond milk. These muffins are dairy-free and egg-free. They do have a little bit of gluten in them because I use regular flour. Been trying to nail down the almond flour recipe, but haven't been able to get it quite right yet. I'll keep you posted on that one. Okay, so our butter, just using a 1 cup prep bowl again. We're gonna go back to 0, and we need 70 grams of butter. And so let's just see what this is before we go any further. Oh my gosh, that's 74. I feel really good about that. Super close. And then I don't have a teeny little piece left over. Okay, we're gonna put that in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then we will add that to our pumpkin. All right. While that cooks, we are going to get our brown sugar, and then we are going to get our almond milk together so that we can kind of put all of those ingredients together. So we are going to first do our brown sugar. I'm gonna do a reach, got my flour. Okay, I wanna tell you guys brown sugar. So I have my brown sugar keepers, and I'll kind of show you in here, in my brown sugar. You can see that it's super soft, not like hard and crunchy. What happened a couple weeks ago I had accidentally knocked the lid off of my brown sugar. I opened this up to make my muffins like I do every week, and my brown sugar was hard as a rock. I was like, ah, it's a bummer, there's still so much in there. So what I did is I took my brown sugar keepers out. I soaked them in water for, I don't know, 10, 12 hours. And then I kind of dug a little hole. I put my brown sugar keepers back in my brown sugar, lid nice and tight on there so it created moisture. The next week when I opened it back up to use my brown sugar, to my surprise, my brown sugar was nice and soft and ready to use again. So just a little tip with your terracotta brown sugar keepers. They can even bring your hard, crunchy brown sugar back to life. All right, so we've got our butter here. So let's add our butter, okay? And I'm just using the small mix-and scraper, which is funny when they call it the small mix-and scraper because I really just call it the normal mix-and scraper. All right, so we're gonna stir that in, and then we are going to add in our brown sugar, our almond milk, and then our flax egg. Let's see, so we need 143 grams, so we're just gonna make that 0. And so we're gonna add some brown sugar in. Again, one of my favorite things is like you don't necessarily have to have your measuring cups out. You just kind of keep track of your grams. And when I originally did this, I did like a packed 2/3 cup of brown sugar. So then I knew what I was looking for and I wrote down like all my grams. So then I didn't have to kind of mess with it the next time. Okay. So as you get closer, you will just, you know, do less and less. And then something like this, you can obviously take a little off the top if you get overexcited. Oh my gosh, 143 on the nose, okay? So we've got our brown sugar in. Let's get that out of the way. And then we've got our almond milk, and let's see how this is coming along. You can already see, okay, if you kind of notice like our flax meal, it's kind of got like an egg-like consistency. When I first started using this kind of little hack for an egg, I hadn't really read anywhere to use hot or warm, like hot water, and I was just using cold water, and I never felt like it worked, but I never felt like it really got the consistency that I wanted. So then I read somewhere that you should use hot water, and it coagulates like way quicker and gives you the consistency that you want. So there's that. Okay, and now we need 1/4 cup of milk, but almond milk because we're doing dairy free. Okay, and I think we need 2.47 ounces, so we are on ounces. And again, I just go back to 0 so that I don't have to like recalculate anything. Milk can be a little bit more tricky, so you could do that in a cup if you wanted to when you're first starting. Okay, that is right on the money there. I'm gonna put that one back in the fridge. Okay, all right, so we've got our brown sugar, flax meal, and we've got our almond milk. Okay, so we are just gonna stir those in, and now we're gonna add our dry ingredients, our flour, our protein, our pea protein, all the good stuff, okay? So again, we're gonna go back to a 0 on that, and I actually, all right, I'm gonna actually bump this over to the side here, and I like to just use a measuring cup with some of my flours and stuff like that, but I'm still using the grams. Okay, so we're grams, 0. Okay, so for our protein powder, we need 112 grams, and then we need to add flour on top of that to get to 284 grams. So I kind of, again, all this math I'll share with you, or it's just by cups. Okay. Well, I got a little overexcited because there was a little bit left in there, so that's when you just go, okay. And I'm just using a vanilla protein, okay, whatever. And I'm using the Juice Plus complete protein. It's vegan, plant-based. All right, so now we're gonna add our flour to get to 284 grams of our like flour mixture. So then I just kind of dump this right on top. I'm kind of running out of flour, so we'll see if I have enough. Oh yeah, we totally do. Okay, great. All right, again, I got a little excited, so there we go, 284, that is perfect. So we are going to add this to our pumpkin mixture, and then we are going to add our pea protein and a few other ingredients, okay? So, Pampered Chef makes pea protein. Literally, you guys, it's just yellow peas. Adds more protein. You can get this in a pouch now where it's scoopable, and you can decide how much you want to put in. Nice thing is, it doesn't actually like have a flavor, so I really love it for adding protein to like pancakes or muffins or cakes or like things that you're already making, which are really nice. Okay, so we've got our, let's see, I'm just going down my list now. So all we need is our baking soda, salt, cinnamon, vanilla, and we'll be ready to mix these up. All right, so we've used all that. We need salt. Okay, so zero that out, and we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of salt, which is 2 grams. So there we go. So it's about 10 turns on your salt and pepper grinder. And then we are gonna do baking soda. So we need 1 teaspoon of that. And with these, I usually just use my measuring spoon for like things like baking soda and salt and everything. So, okay. And then we're gonna do, oh, there it is. Our Pampered Chef Cringy Cinnamon, which is back for the fall, only until December 31st. Okay, so we are going to add, leave 1 teaspoon, make sure, yep, 1 teaspoon of that. And then we're gonna add, again, back for the season, our double strength Madagascar bourbon vanilla. It's so freaking delicious, and you can really tell the difference in the flavor of your recipes. Okay, calls for 1 teaspoon. Again, I do 2 because it's delicious. Totally your call. You can do 1. All right, so let's make our last glance here. Okay, we got our cinnamon, vanilla, pea protein. Okay, so at this point, if you wanted to, move this little guy out of the way. Oh, you know what? We're gonna use it for one last thing. I was just kidding. Let's stir this first though. So if you wanted to use a mixer, you absolutely could. I find with the banana muffins that I use the mix and mash, the Pampered Chef mix and mash, because it'll mash my bananas. But with the pumpkin, I don't really need to, because you know, everything's kind of smashed together. So I just kind of stir it all together by hand. Little arm workout. Just kidding. It's not that hard. Love using the classic batter bowl because it you can see through it, so you can see if you have any dry ingredients unmixed on your batter bowl. So like you can kind of see like right here, we still have some work to do, right? Okay, so when I originally made this recipe, if you wanted to do like chocolate chips in it, super delish. Don't get me wrong, let me show you which ones I use. They've been used. Okay, these are, if you have like allergies, food allergies, don't want to do dairy, Simply Delicious. They make a milk chocolate and a dark chocolate. Totally use these in my muffins with them, okay? They are delicious. If you're trying to be a little bit more on the health cautious side, I have now switched over to organic cacao nibs. Superfood, yummy, and definitely way less calories than chocolate chips. But if you want it to be a treat, use the chocolate chips. They're delicious. So I do 60 grams of the cacao nibs and then just stir those in. For a while, I was also adding 60 on the money. All right. And that's just kind of what I figured out for like consistency wise and like for my calories and everything like that as well. I kind of just added it all together and figured it out one day because I was curious. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like once it's all in here together. I will be including the recipe down below in the comments, or if you message me, I'm happy to message you the document. But you can kind of just see we've got like yummy pumpkin chocolate chip cacao nib muffins, dairy-free, egg-free. Last thing I do is I'm using just the Pampered Chef muffin pan. I'm going to spray it with just a little bit of olive oil. I use the large scoop, and then very recently I was using pecans in these, just a few, delicious, but I got some sprouted pumpkin seeds, and last time I topped them with those, and pumpkin seeds are super good for you, so I decided to stick with that direction again for a more health cautious, better for you muffin. And I kind of use these like for breakfast with ooh, look at all that oil mist, with some fresh fruit. Okay, so I am using the large scoop. That is the perfect size for the Pampered Chef muffin pan. So I'm just going to show you guys one so that you don't have to watch for like 100 years. So I just scoop that in, and I can divide this out between all 12 wells. And then what I do is I just take a few of the sprouted pumpkin seeds and just place them like kind of right on top and like squish them down a little bit. Again, I'm gonna be the one that eats them. But if you want to use a spoon to squish them down, you can as well too. But I hope you guys enjoy my pumpkin protein muffins. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. And also I do exact same recipe, but with 3 overly ripe bananas. So you could sub in pumpkin or banana for the recipe that I've included. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me today, and we'll see you again real soon.